I am really enjoying this show. Hey, what's up, Nerd fam? It's your boy Gashawn. I'm going to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today, we talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier. The first two episodes, which I gotta say, I am thoroughly enjoying. Let's talk about the cool stuff that's happening within it. Now, I'll start off with episode 1. Episode 1 did something right in the beginning that I loved, which is establish Falcon as someone who can handle himself without anyone around, specifically Cap or even Bucky, who obviously later on in the next episode, you see them doing a mission together, but making him somebody viable, him taking out all these people and even bringing back that Truck the Leaper to kind of harken back to Winter Soldier. Cool, because GSP is awesome anyway. So it was excellent watching him, go from hand to hand using the thrusters to like move himself throughout the I forgot they were in a helicopter, and then even using the shield. Now, we've seen him do that in the movies, but it just looked so much better in here when you see it going from transition to transition, him flying around, him like narrowly escaping propellers. It was awesome. I loved it, right? To make him cool as Falcon, you must establish that, because Falcon, Sam Wilson, is an awesome character in the comics. I'm going to say that a lot of times in this video because I think people just need to know. Also, when it came to establishing something besides him in the suit, which is good because they did this for Bucky as well, we'll get into that. They had him go back to his hometown, even though he's from Harlem in the comic. They made him from Louisiana. That's okay, it doesn't have to be exact as long as you get some of the themes that, he has a sister, even though he also has a brother in the comic. I'm not sure if he still has a brother here, and if he still has a nephew who's really important because I think he had like HIV in the comics, and I believe he I'm saying too much. Might be a future spoiler. So whatever, leave it at that. Look it up if you want to, right? Now, what's really cool is, they flesh it out. They show his family connection. They show that, his parents are no longer here, and how big they were for their family, which is something that's very big even in the comics, because after his mom died, that's when he went to the whole Snap Wilson persona in the comics, which was, more of a criminal. I don't know if that happens here, if they make him go through that in this, that, who he is right now isn't who he's always been, and also his sister's also a widow, which is the same thing in the comic as well too. So it adds depth, not just him, to people who he's interacting with, and gives him something more to say besides just the world, and I love that, right? And also with Bucky is obviously, he's 100-something years old. He's adjusting to that, and he's also someone who's killed tons of people, obviously under mind control, but it was still him. It's still him. So they said deal with that. That's something that comes directly from the Ed Brubaker run of Winter Soldier comics, which was awesome. It had him dealing with that. There was also some storylines that involved him and Black Widow being involved with each other back in the Soviet times, which could still happen. You never know. I'm hearing that they're gonna bring Yelena Belova in this series, so you never know. That could tie into that, which would be pretty cool. And what they do between him and one of his victims' fathers, like what the relationship he has there, he's trying to atone. That's excellent. It shows other growth besides punching and kicking. That's really good. This is actually really good writing. I like that. Also, what I really like is the whole Flag Smashers, giving that, because that does tie directly into the John Walker or U.S. Agent or Super Patriot storyline, which is the guy who you see with the shield afterward, right? Even though after Sam Wilson gave it to the Smithsonian, they gave it to another guy. What the hell is that about? And we're gonna get into like the kind of eye-rolling moment that I have with those little things, but I'm just gonna stay with the positives for now. So first episode, I like most of it. Great. They even alluded to Blue Marvel by talking about this guy had a secret base on the moon. That's Blue Marvel. So I love it. I'm not sure if he's there, but they just alluded to that being a thing. So whatever. In 2, which is really cool, we see obviously Bucky and Wilson meeting up together. You see their relationship, get a chance to see their banter in usual Disney form. It's a lot of jokes and stuff. Hate or love it, it is what it is, but whatever. And you see how much they both cared about Steve and how they were affected by someone else having the shield, because that was their friend's shield. That was their friend's role. To see someone else in it is something that got them. And I like that. It gave them even that other attachment. And obviously it makes Steve Rogers' shadow loom over the series a little bit more. Whether you like it or hate it, it's part of the story, and it's kind of cool, right? And you see them go on a mission together. You see, I mean, and that was kind of weird because then you can now actually also before I get to that, you see John Walker, like you get a chance to see more about him and see like he's just trying to live up to like what he's always been a captain before he says, and you also see his partner, or if you want to call it a sidekick, but I'm just gonna say partner, Lamar Hoskins, which is actually Battlestar, who was actually pretty cool in the comics. Now they both eventually do get the super soldier serum in some form in the comics, so I know that's coming. That's gonna come. So I mean that might be a spoiler, but that's coming, especially because they're gonna need it to fight Flag Smashers, which all have super soldier abilities, which we see here and we even see in the first episodes. Speaking of Flag Smasher, in this iteration, it is a woman. In the comic, it is actually a guy. I'm not gonna say too much about what they do because then I might spoil some things for you. But yes, that's super integral. Now, obviously, I'll say a little bit in the comic, it had nothing to do with the blip, but it did have to do with like destabilizing national rule. That's really what it was about, something like that. But whatever, I won't go too much more today. It was still like kind of like an anarchist thing, right? But whatever. So, what my favorite thing that I saw in both these episodes was the introduction of characters that I really love. That would be the Bradley family, or at least two of the members. Isaiah Bradley, the one who starts it all, him being the first black Captain America, right? Or at least, yes. And that was awesome. Now they changed some stuff around. They kind of moved his timeline up. They didn't make him during World War II. They kind of made him like somewhere around like maybe 40s, then 50s, because he was in Vietnam as well, and he fought. They made him fight Winter Soldier at some point back then. They didn't show it, which I really want to see that. I really want to see that flashback. They do that, but they show that they said he actually like kicked his ass. That they used him to go over there and find Winter Soldier at some point. And when they went to Baltimore, pretty much that's when Bucky actually introduces Sam to him, and Sam is obviously pissed off because he's like, how can you not tell me there was another like black super soldier? This super soldier in general, did Steve know? Steve had no idea. He knew that Steve was gonna feel some way about this because this is his legacy technically, right? He's the first super soldier, and they created him trying to get another Steve, which is what's so important. You can read, it's actually a comic one. It's called Truth, Red, White, and Black. So go pick that up. Pick that up, please. Yes, excellent stuff to see. And then the boy who opens the door, that is Elijah Bradley, who does become Patriot in Young Avengers. So they are setting us up for that because we already have Stature. We're gonna get Kate Bishop. So, and obviously, you saw the two children, Wiccan and Speed, who are Wanda's kids. They're also in the Young Avengers, and we're probably gonna get Hulkling, who is a Skrull. So all this, the Young Avengers, they are all coming together very, very slowly. So we see it. The only one we didn't see in the family is Josiah, who's actually the uncle of Eli and the son to Isaiah, who is actually kind of a clone from his DNA. So he might not even know he exists, or he might not exist at all. I don't know if they're gonna go with that, but it's cool because that guy was doing some really cool stuff out there. But whatever. Well, we can talk about that in a whole other video. I like that stuff right there, including these characters. These characters make the Shield, or the legacy of the Shield, mean so much more. So, on to the stuff that kind of rolled my eyes, or made me roll my eyes. So, I would like, now I understand that there are obviously racial issues in real life. I would love it if every black hero did not always have to tackle them, or it wasn't always so integral to who they are for every little thing. So, for example, when they went to the bank and in the first episode and tried to get this loan, I would understand if Falcon was a regular person, and I could understand the allegory they're making to real life, how African Americans have had a hard time getting loans in real life. I get it, but this is a guy who not only is saving the world. This guy is also has government contracts. There's so many things that to him that it almost makes even that very improbable for that to happen. And it seemed like there was kind of a reach, just something to make me feel something like, oh damn, like he can do all this stuff as a black man and still not enough. But it's like, I don't know, maybe not, because I've talked to other people and it's like, honestly, if this might have happened, they said, the guy even explained it. He was like, well, to be honest, like we're denying a lot of people who've been gone for 5 years, but they were pointing it more towards the fact of him being black, and like, just like that seems to be a common trope for just a lot of black characters, even in comic books. I'm like, like I could do without it. If reality is filled with this, even the comic book reality, do we have to constantly? That's just my opinion. This is my opinion. Like that wasn't too bad, but then the second thing with the whole police stopping him, like, is this guy bothering you? Like, it just seemed like, oh, just an insert. It's just one of them things where it's like, well, we gotta hit all the check marks of oppression and struggle for this character, and it's like, can he just worry about saving the world? Can he just worry about trying to figure out who this Flag Smasher is and just focus on his friends? But does it have to be that as well? Is that essential to every black superhero? Is the plight and struggle? It doesn't have to be. But it seems to be like that's just something that they lean on because it seems very popular. And that's the only thing that made me kind of roll my eyes. It doesn't ruin the series for me. It's just like, come on. So it makes me wonder, is this going to happen once every episode? The clever thing they did, though, was the whole thing with the kid and the whole Black Falcon thing. I think that was kind of a dig at DC, because DC has a lot of characters that, when they're black, have a lot of black before them. And just some stereotypical black characters anyway. But yeah, that's just what I think about the first 2 episodes. I love them. I like the inclusions. I think they're doing a great job with these characters so far. And yeah. So tell me what you think. If you love the episode 2, like down here. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. Let me know if you liked my take. If you didn't, please like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to enter the nerd.